We are blessed to have our parents and grandparents living longer. The longer we live, the more important quality of life becomes. More than 90% of seniors are adamant that staying in their homes as they age is critical to a high quality of life. Living at home and retaining independence and self-worth are critically important to our parents and grandparents, but aging catches up to us all. 1 in 5 seniors over 70 needs help to get through the day. Dressing, bathing, walking, cooking, tidying, laundry, errands, and so on. And that percentage goes up significantly as people hit their 80s and beyond. To age at home, most elderly parents need a caregiver to help with their activities of daily living. If you're like most, you're stretched to the max with work and managing your own family. You might not even live in the same city as your parents or grandparents. Let's face it, it's just not realistic for you to act as the caregiver. Trying to find someone else to care for your loved one who is trustworthy, reliable, knowledgeable, and skilled is extremely difficult. When you do find someone, you have to get mom or dad to accept them. On the other hand, we found that having the right caregiver can make all the difference. They provide the missing ingredient, ensuring your loved one can age at home safely while retaining the maximum amount of independence and respect. The right caregiver can do what you wish you could do for your loved one, but can't right now. The time you are able to spend with your loved ones will be quality time, rather than time acting as a caregiver. But getting it wrong can be disastrous. We've all heard stories of adult children who hired the wrong caregiver who ended up stealing, not showing up, being negligent, or not being accepted by their loved ones. When this happens, you know you're going to hear it from your mom or dad. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try and no matter what you do, all you get is criticism, complaints, and grief. Many customers have told us that they became so frustrated and at a loss for what to do, they simply gave up and moved their parent into a facility. The regret and sense of failure can haunt you for a long time. And if that's not bad enough, you often have to deal with other family members who are armchair critics and unwilling or unable to pitch in with any constructive help. No one needs this kind of stress. As the founders of LeanOnWe, we experienced the broken and dysfunctional home care system from both sides. We've hired and managed caregivers for years to take care of our parents and to take care of Ron, who needs a caregiver every day following a horrific bicycling accident. We used agencies and experienced frustration and anger, never quite knowing which caregiver they were sending to us, or if they were going to show up, or if we could trust them. Not to mention the high prices that were out of line with the quality of caregivers we were being sent. We then tried the do-it-yourself approach, and it felt like we were playing a combination of Where's Waldo and Russian roulette. We reached out to everyone we knew for recommendations, tracked people down, and if we could find them, we too often learned that they weren't available, weren't living in the area any longer, or were no longer doing caregiving. Plus, how would we adequately screen them and check their references? And what would we do if we needed backup care? Rather than complain about how bad our experiences were, we decided to create a service that would give us and families like ours exactly what we needed when we wanted to hire privately. And we figured that if it would work for us, it just might work for you. So don't wear the burden, frustration, and anger like we did. You don't have to do this on your own. It's hard, if not impossible, to find a caregiver that works for you and your loved one, whether you go to an agency or you do it on your own. We can do the hard work for you. We go to great lengths to handpick the right caregivers to join our network. Each caregiver has to be trustworthy and reliable, and that's not up for discussion. They must have the right skills and knowledge, also not negotiable. Our proprietary matching algorithm efficiently scours our entire database to find a short list of caregivers who your loved one will find not just acceptable, but will love. And we do all of this quickly and at a cost far less than what you'd pay an agency. Trusting the honesty and integrity of the caregiver you hire should be a given, but we found that's very often not the case. So we put in place the most comprehensive and toughest screening process in the industry so you don't have to worry. Every caregiver who is part of our network has undergone an FBI fingerprint background check. It's the most extensive background check that exists. The check is far more comprehensive than the limited Social Security internet checks that many others in the industry do and falsely promote as comprehensive. At LeanOnWe, we verify references, licenses, and certifications and check that the information on a caregiver's resume is accurate. And that's not all. Several of our caregiver specialists conduct interviews with each and every caregiver. Your peace of mind is worth all the work we put in before the caregiver is allowed to join our network. It goes without saying that caregivers are real people with names, stories, and lives of their own. While they are dedicated to making life great for your loved one, sometimes life hits them. Maybe your caregiver gets sick, takes a vacation, has a family member to care for, or an emergency to deal with. Regardless, your loved one still needs a caregiver, and we're going to help you make sure they have a suitable replacement. You have enough stress as it is without having to deal with this on your own. At LeanOnWe, we know your needs are unique. Hiring a caregiver with the right skills and knowledge who is reliable and trustworthy isn't quite good enough. We want your loved one to accept and love their caregiver, the same as other LeanOnWe customers do. We've developed a proprietary matching algorithm that packages your requirements along with information on your loved one's needs, hobbies, interests, language, and culture, and then scours our large caregiver database for matches. We email you the short list of people who meet your requirements, and then online, from the comfort of your own home, you can pre-screen them by reviewing their resumes and watching their videos, and then of course interviewing them before you make a final decision. So as an example, if you need a caregiver with experience dealing with dementia, who speaks Italian, loves to cook, and watches old movies, our system will provide you with a list of caregivers who do just that. At LeanOnWe, we built a unique home care service so everybody would be better off. You benefit because you get a much better solution at a lower price than what an agency would provide, with the services you can't get on your own. Your loved one wins because the caregivers on our network are more qualified, reliable, and happier because they typically earn 50% more than they do at an agency. You're probably asking how we can provide better qualified and matched caregivers, have them earn more, and charge you less. We eliminated the older, costlier ways of doing business that everybody else uses and took advantage of the latest technology and out-of-the-box thinking to deliver a better experience. Lastly, we have passion and drive born out of our personal circumstances to make you the hero so your loved one can age at home with independence and worth. Don't take our word for it. Read what our customers have thoughtfully shared about their experiences with us on Yelp, Google, and Facebook. Lois had this to say.
When it became clear to my sister and me that our mom needed help at home, we really didn't know how to proceed. The LeanOnWe staff were courteous, knowledgeable, and not pushy. LeanOnWe's scheduling suggestions, which went counter to my thinking, ended up saving us considerable money. There was no charge until we hired someone, and they had no financial incentive for us to pay a higher rate or hire the caregiver for more hours than we needed. LeanOnWe sent me several profiles of caregivers that were a good fit. I interviewed the one we thought best and decided to hire her. The whole process took just 2 days to complete, and we were set. Most importantly, our mom, not easy to please, was thrilled with our choice.
Brian had this to say.
We worked with LeanOnWe to find a caregiver to assist our 87-year-old mother and 91-year-old father to keep them in their own home. The process of finding and hiring him was straightforward, and working with LeanOnWe made the process incredibly easy during a very stressful time. Both of our parents were unsettled by the idea of allowing someone in their home. Now they can't imagine life without their caregiver. We are all happy that I was able to improve a challenging situation, and they feel that they are in complete control of their care arrangements and grateful for it. This has allowed them to continue to live as independently as possible, which is crucial for them. It was actually considerably cheaper than working with an agency as well.
That's our story. We are dedicated to helping your elderly loved ones age in place with as much independence, dignity, and enjoyment of life as possible, while turning you into the family hero and giving you peace of mind that you did the right things for those you care about most. To get started with LeanOnWe, give us a call at 844-532-6669, or fill out the contact form on our webpage, or use the online chat on our website to talk to one of our care advisors. LeanOnWe, the right fit at the right price.